Nigel Farage slams Starmer, Macron Migrant deal after 500-plus channel crossings in one day. UK outraged. You're not going to believe what just happened. While the media was busy talking about inflation numbers and election polls, over 500 migrants crossed the English Channel in a single day. And now, Nigel Farage has absolutely unleashed on the government, calling the new Starmer-Macron Migrant deal a total farce, and warning that the British public is being played. This isn't just another headline. This could mark the first major fracture in Keir Starmer's leadership, because the truth is the public was promised change. What they're seeing is more of the same. Let's break down exactly what happened and why Farage is calling it a betrayal of Britain. It started early Monday morning. Reports began pouring in from the south coast. Dinghies, dozens of them. By midday, UK Border Force had intercepted more than 500 people, all crossing illegally into British waters. That figure in one day is the highest this year. And it's not just a number. It's a political earthquake. Because just days ago, Prime Minister Keir Starmer met with French President Emmanuel Macron. The two leaders announced what was hailed as a stronger, smarter migrant control pact. Millions in funding, enhanced cooperation, even drone surveillance. But Farage says it's all for show. In a furious statement on GB News, he said, "This deal is just recycled promises with a fresh coat of paint. We've handed more money to France, and in return, the boats keep coming." And he's not alone in that outrage. Social media erupted. One comment read, "We voted to take back control. We didn't vote for France to take more of our money while doing nothing." Another said, "Starmer's already failing. The Channel crisis is proof the system is broken, and they're still pretending it's working." Even some Labour voters are reportedly beginning to voice concern. One local councillor in Kent told a regional paper, "We expected more from this government, especially after everything Sunak failed to deliver. But this looks like a copy-paste strategy." And here's where it gets even more tense. Nigel Farage, who spent years warning about the dangers of illegal channel crossings, didn't hold back. He pointed out that under previous governments, more than £500 million has already been given to France to help stop the boats. Yet, boat arrivals increased. Now, with the Labour government stepping in, Farage argues, the UK is simply being held hostage by failed French promises. He even claimed, "The French don't want to stop the boats. Why would they? They're more than happy to let people sail off from Calais and make it Britain's problem." It's a claim that's been echoed quietly by some border officials, too. A leaked message from a former Home Office advisor hinted that French patrols often look the other way, especially when the political optics are less than convenient. Now here's the bigger issue. Starmer's deal isn't just facing criticism from the right. It's starting to crack support on the left as well. Immigration reform is deeply sensitive inside the Labour Party. Some MPs argue the government isn't doing enough to protect borders. Others fear being seen as too harsh or anti-refugee. That internal conflict, it's becoming harder to hide. A senior Labour aide reportedly told a journalist, "The migrant crossings could become our Rwanda plan, a political minefield, no matter what we do." And this isn't just about boats anymore. This is about credibility. Because just months ago, Starmer said, "We will fix the asylum system. We will restore order to the Channel." But with headlines now showing record-high crossings, many are asking, was that just campaign talk? Meanwhile, Nigel Farage is seizing the moment. He's demanding a complete policy overhaul, one that includes offshore processing, deterrence measures, and zero tolerance for repeat arrivals. He's also hinted once again that he may step back into formal politics. In his words, "The political class won't act unless they feel real pressure. So maybe it's time we gave them that pressure again." Could this be the early spark of a fresh Farage campaign? Some insiders believe yes. And that brings us to the question many in the UK are now asking. If 500 people crossed in one day after a major international agreement, what happens when summer peaks? The weather's warming, the crossings are increasing, and public patience is running out. One tweet summed it up perfectly. We were told things would change. What we got was the same old chaos, in a different suit. So where does this leave Starmer? He's facing growing pressure from opposition leaders, from the public, and even from within his own ranks. If the migrant crisis continues to spiral, it could become the defining issue of his early premiership. A test not just of policy, but of political will. Because right now, the British public isn't just watching the channel. They're watching him. This isn't over, not by a long shot. And with Farage ramping up the heat, Macron staying silent, and the numbers climbing, one thing's clear. If this is how the migrant deal starts, the ending could be explosive. And the real question is the UK still in control, or has the Channel crisis crossed a line we can't come back from? Stay tuned.